Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Huck. Today I'm doing my March book haul. So these are going to be all of the books that I got in March. I have 6 graphic novels, 1 play, and 2 books to talk about. So let's start with the graphic novels because I have the most of those, which is just kind of surprising to me because reading graphic novels is like a relatively new thing for me. I've never been a big graphic novel reader, but apparently this month I was just really feeling like buying graphic novels. So the first 3 that I have are from the Girl from the Other Side series. So I have volumes 5, 6, and 7. So this is up to all of the books I think that are currently published in English. So this is a series that I have been talking about in a lot of my videos recently because I have been hauling and reading them over the last couple of months. It's about this world where there is a curse that turns you into a monster and it is passed by touch. So the humans have kind of walled themselves off into a city and they call themselves the insiders, and then there are the outsiders who are these monsters. But this is about a little girl who is an insider who has befriended one of the outsiders. And it is just a very sweet but a little bit dark series about these two and their friendship. And where I am in the series, I haven't read these ones yet, but we're starting to get some hints and a little bit more about like what this curse is and a little bit more about the world. Then the other 3 graphic novels that I got were also all from one series, which are the Heartstopper graphic novels. So they're volumes 1, 2, and volume 3, which just came out recently. So this is a very well-known and well-loved series on BookTube. It is by Alice Oseman, who wrote Radio Silence, which I have not read, but is also a very well-loved book on BookTube. And this is a YA contemporary, like high school romance between these 2 boys who are friends and, you know, develop a romantic relationship, and it is just a very heartwarming series. I've already read all 3 volumes. I just like binge read these, so I'll be talking about them a little bit more in my wrap-up for the month. But this series, I decided to just buy all 3 of them and binge them because I got to test them out online. These were originally published as like web comics, so you can just read them online if you want to. So I read a little bit of the first one online just to see if I liked it, and then I really did. I was really enjoying it, so I decided to just order all 3 volumes and just binge them. Then the one play that I got was Henry V by Shakespeare, and I got this because I watched the movie The King that is on Netflix. It has Timothée Chalamet in it as Henry V, and I loved that movie. It's so good. I've been a little obsessed with it and been trying to convince like everyone I know to watch it. But it is an adaptation of Shakespeare's play Henry V, and so I wanted to read the original, even though I know that the original would be a little bit different from the movie because it's kind of a slightly different interpretation of the character in the movie. But anyways, I decided to pick up the play so that I could read the original to compare it to the movie that I've been a little bit obsessed with. And then finally, I have the 2 books that I got this month. The first one is Spindle and Dagger by J. Anderson Coates. So this is a YA historical fantasy, I think. I think it's a fantasy that just came out in March. So it's a new release, and this takes place in medieval Wales, I believe. In Wales in 1109. And in this, our main character's name is Ellen, and her family was killed by a war band, but she's the only one who is able to survive. She also has been able to convince the leader of this war band that if he protects her, that he will have, like, I think a blessing from the gods or something like that, and that he will be protected by protecting her. And so that is how she's able to survive. And that is all I really know about this. I was interested in this because it is like a Celtic historical fantasy that is set in Wales. And I also saw in the description on Goodreads, the writing is described as literary, which like doesn't really tell you that much about what the writing's actually like, but quite a few books that I like the writing, I've heard other people describe the writing as literary. And so that kind of intrigued me as well to see if I would like the writing of this. And the last book that I have is The Circle by Sarah B. Elfgren and Matt Strandberg. And so this is a YA contemporary fantasy that was actually originally written in Swedish, I believe, and then translated to English. And it follows this group of girls who become witches, I think. They discover that they each have powers and are brought together even though they're not friends at first, but they are the chosen ones and they have to work together and use their powers to fight an ancient evil. I thought this sounded like a lot of fun. It sounds a little bit like Charmed almost, but also sounds kind of like that like, is it a middle grade series? It's called Witch, where like each girl has like a different special power and then they have to like band together to fight these evil creatures. I don't know, I think it just sounds like it'll be fun. It is pretty chunky, it's about 600 pages, but I'm really interested in this, and it is the first book in a series, so if I like it, there could be a new series for me to read. So those are all of the books that I got in March. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, bye!